I've reviewed a few gaming chairs on the channel now, and before I checked them out, I was, as a lot of you probably will be or might be, an ergonomic office chair enjoyer. That changed a little bit after I've reviewed some decent quality gaming chairs. But can the Doro C300 ergonomic office chair from Chinese manufacturer SIHOO pull me back to my old ways? Hi guys, I'm Matt and welcome to Kit Guru and to my full review of the Doro C300 ergonomic office chair from Chinese brand SIHOO. Now the C300 has an MSRP of £369.99 on SIHOO's UK website, but at the time of recording there is a pre-order bonus, a pre-order discount that will save you £100 and drops that price down to £269.99 if you pre-order one before they start shipping. So it's cheap-ish for an ergo chair. There are definitely cheaper options out there, but then there are also much more expensive chairs that look just like this. I'm sure you know which ones I'm talking about. Let's first kick things off with the design then, and I've got to say right off the bat that I really like how this chair looks. It's a mature design with flowing curves and plenty of mesh. The C300 is available in both black and white, although the white model that I've got here is more of a light grey. The combination of chromed metal for the base, matte plastic and mesh give the chair quite a futuristic look in my opinion. I feel that SIHOO have taken some inspiration from the much more expensive Herman Miller chairs, which is by no means a bad thing at all. They're renowned for their quality. The base has a 5-spoke metal design which feels very weighty and solid. The casters are made from plastic. They feel decent enough and they've worked well during my testing time, gliding easily over my hard floor in my kind of office/gaming area. The main seat section of the chair has a quite noticeable curve downwards towards the front, which SIHOO call their waterfall design, which is meant to help distribute your weight evenly and minimise pressure on the backs of your legs while sitting, something which I'm going to discuss later in the video when I talk about my experiences using the Doro C300. It's got height and tilt adjustments which can be tinkered with by using the lever found underneath the right hand side of the seat. Now SIHOO don't list the range of these adjustments on their website, but that's no worries, I've got a tape measure. At its lowest point the seat is 40 centimetres from the floor, and at its tallest it's 45 centimetres from the floor. That's not a massive amount of adjustability to be honest. The gas lift is rated for a weight of up to £300, or that's about 136 kilos, and it has handled me sitting on it with ease, to be fair to it. The seat tilts back by roughly 45 degrees. I couldn't find my protractor though, so that's a best guess, but it's close enough. The main structural parts of the chair are all made from a matte finished vinyl plastic material, which although it's not metal, it does feel quite robust. The seat, lumbar support and backrest are a combination of that plastic and then what SIHOO call cloud netting, which according to the spec is stain and tear resistant. Now it isn't connected to the frame or that plasticky bit with as much tension as I've felt on other mesh based office chairs in the past, but it does provide enough support for a big guy like me to sit on. And speaking of that lumbar support, SIHOO have gone with a bit of a unique design here. It's an automatic system that is designed to move with you as you move your back about while sitting on the Doro C300. The lumbar section is connected to the rest of the chair via a suspension system of sorts, which moves up and down as pressure is placed on and taken off of it. There's no way of adjusting its start or end position though, so it either fits or it doesn't. It does move up and down by a couple of inches, and it'll move up and down when you adjust the height of the actual seat back itself. But the lack of any manual adjustability to the individual lumbar support height surprised me a little bit when I first assembled this chair, to be honest. Yes, the support does move, but it would have been much better if it could also be adjusted to suit users of differing heights, I think. This is an ergonomic chair after all, adjustability is key. The armrests do thankfully bring some more adjustability to the table though, albeit not to the levels I've seen on some other chairs. First off, comfort-wise, they're really good and I like them a lot. The supports are made from the same matte plastic found everywhere else on the chair, but it's the actual rest sections that impressed me. They're very firmly padded and feel quite soft to the touch at the same time. They're kind of, I think they're dense foam, but they're quite spongy but firm at the same time. They have a slight curvature and contour into the shape, which feels nice underneath your arms. And as for adjustability, they can move up and down, forwards and backwards, and then they can pivot up to 75 degrees. They can't move inwards and outwards like to adjust the width or the narrowness to them though. And they do rattle quite a bit, which is often the case with armrests that are this adjustable. So it doesn't concern me too much, the rattle. They're also locked with the chair's tilt adjustment, so they do move backwards and line up nicely when reclining. The backrest is much like the main seat base and is made up of the same mesh and plastic combination. It can be moved up and down to help suit taller users like me. I'm about 6 foot and I find that the back extended up as far as it'll go that is the most comfortable for me. It also tilts back by roughly 45 degrees as I mentioned earlier, but the adjustment steps are quite far apart from each other. Again, that's something that I'm going to cover in a bit more detail when I talk about my experience with the chair in a moment. Then finally we have the headrest, which again is made from mesh and does have a good amount of adjustability to it. It can be moved up and down, tilted back and forward on both the angle of the headrest itself and to adjust the distance from your head. It's very versatile and can be moved around enough to suit, I guess, pretty much anyone. That mesh, yet again, is quite soft and surprisingly durable. The build quality of the Doro C300 is decent. The mesh feels really good quality, but I definitely would have liked to have seen some more metal used in the main structure of the chair, especially at this price point. I've been using it since I returned from Computex a few weeks ago, and it's never thrown out any creaks or noises that concerned me at all. Before I move on to give you my thoughts on just how good this chair is and the experience that I've had with it, I just wanted to talk quickly about the assembly process. Much like other chairs that I've reviewed, it involves the usual steps of attaching the wheels to the base, then installing the gas lift, before attaching the armrests, seat, back and headrest. Installing the armrests was a painful experience by myself, so I definitely recommend getting some help if you do choose to pick one of these chairs up. Now, everything else though was pretty straightforward. All of the bolts and screws lined up without any issues, and all of the tools that you need to stick this chair together are included in the box. So enough of me reeling off specs and details to you. All that really matters is how good is this chair and how comfortable it is, how does it work. Now, as I mentioned, I've been using the Doro C300 as my main seat for work and gaming for a few weeks now. And that time included some well-needed rest after chasing Leo around Taipei at Computex for a week, and he walked really fast. I've found the Doro C300 to be a decent chair, but I can't help but feel it would be much more suited to a smaller user than myself. The waterfall design of the main seat has been causing me some aching in my legs, but this could be down to me transitioning back to an ergonomic chair after sitting on a gaming chair for so long. The armrests, in reality, have disappointed me quite a lot. They move too easily and don't lock into position, and I've constantly been having to readjust them after my elbows accidentally rotate them outwards. It would be nice if they had a system where they clicked into place and stayed put. The headrest though, that really impressed me quite a lot. It's the best I've ever used on any chair, to be honest. It's soft, comfortable, and has enough adjustability for me to get it in the perfect position for my head and neck. It's not so useful when sitting up straight, but when you recline back in this chair to watch a video or just to chill out a little bit, it's a really, really, really comfortable and great experience. Another thing I have to mention is that a lot of the adjustments on this chair work on the basis of moving whatever it is that you're adjusting and listening for them to click into place. The armrest height, seat back height and headrest angle all adjust in that way, When they reach their maximum, the locking mechanism will release and then they'll go back to the start of that range of clicking and adjustment. This can be very frustrating when you're trying to get the armrests to the same height and adjusting them at the same time. I like to have them at the maximum height, but it's a bit of a guessing game if I adjust them both at the same time. And if you take them too far, they'll just go back to the lowest setting and you have to start this fun little chair-based mini game all over again. A button which locks the adjustments in place would have been so much better. Then finally, I have to mention the locking mechanism on the tilt adjustment. There are just 3 different angles that you can lock the chair backwards at. That's across the whole range of that rough 45-degree movement. So it's either all the way forward, so you're sitting straight up, all the way back, so you're lounging really far back, or halfway. I really would have liked to have seen the ability to lock this at whatever angle that I wanted to be honest, or at least some more detailed steps so I can more refine how far back I want to sit. I expect to be able to choose from more than 3 angles on a chair that claims that ergonomics is its main focus. Overall then, it's a tale of 2 halves for the SIHOO Doro C300 for me. On paper, it's got a lot going for it and I really do like the design. It's a modern looking chair that will really look the part of any office or workspace, or even a clean minimal gaming setup. It's the comfort that has got me a bit conflicted. The backs of my thighs have not taken well to this chair at all. And contrary to the claimed benefits of that waterfall design, I've experienced the opposite if I'm being totally honest. I don't find it very comfortable at all really. It's quite a narrow chair which doesn't suit someone that is my size all that well, but if you're smaller and lighter and thinner than me, then you'd more than likely find it a lot more comfortable than I have. The comfort improves drastically when you recline back on the chair and get some headrest action on the go, but let's be honest, you're not going to use it that way all that often. And one final note before I sign off on this video, we were put under a bit of pressure from the brand to let them see and approve this video before we released it to you guys, but of course we didn't do that, we didn't let them see it, and they'll be watching it at the same time as you and everybody else. Honesty is one of our key principles here at Kit Guru, and we will never have a review dictated to us by a brand. You can read more about our mantra on honest reviews at the link in the video's description down below. And that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like down below if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest PC gaming news and reviews of stuff that aren't necessarily PC gaming, like this office chair. If you go down to the video's description, you'll find links to our Patreon page, our Discord server and our website. And also just below the video, you'll find links to our merch store if you want to pick up any merch. Anyway, guys, this has been the SIHOO Doro C300 ergonomic office chair. I've been Matt. Look after yourselves. Speak to you later.